It has been 1 year since the attack on the U.S. Capitol, during which violent supporters of then-President Trump sought to overturn an election. As political editor John Delano reports, those at the Capitol that day say it's something they will never forget.
Shortly after the violent insurrection at the Capitol was quelled and lawmakers resumed their certification of President Biden's election, Pennsylvania's U.S. senators were united about the impact of Donald Trump's big lie that he had really won re-election.
That same lie sowed the seeds of today's violence and today's lawlessness.
We saw bloodshed because the demagogue chose to spread falsehoods and sow distrust of his own fellow Americans.
The bipartisan unity in the Senate was not reflected in the House, where even after the violence, 8 of this state's 9 Republican congressmen, including Guy Reschenthaler and Mike Kelly, voted against certifying the state's vote for Biden, arguing the state's 2.6 million citizens who voted absentee during COVID should not be counted. That brought a sharp rebuke from Congressman Connor Lamb.
We know that attack today, it didn't materialize out of nowhere. It was inspired by lies, the same lies that you're hearing in this room tonight. And the members who are repeating those lies should be ashamed of themselves. Their constituents should be ashamed of them.
I reached out to both Kelly and Reschenthaler today, but neither were available. 1 year later, Lamb says some of his Republican colleagues still repeat the lie.
Still continue to make the same dishonesty-filled, speeches and really tell the same lies in the chamber after the attack that they did before. It was like they learned nothing from what happened, even though those lies are what caused that attack. All those people attacked the Capitol because they believed something that was not true.
Lamb says he stands by his words of a year ago that Republicans who sought to overturn a legitimate election should be ashamed of themselves.
They just didn't live up to the moment. They didn't do what their country, what their Constitution, what their oath of office required. It's a classic case of picking your party and your party leader, Donald Trump, over what's right.
Lamb says democracy cannot survive if lies that undermine the legitimacy of American elections take hold. Now, coming up at 5, I talked to another local member of Congress who had to shelter in place during the insurrection 1 year ago. John Delano, KDKA News.